Hey YouTube, this is Eddie's Card Talk, and today I'm going to be doing a full review of the Citi Custom Cash Card. Now, Citi as a bank, Citi as a surveyor, a purveyor of the credit card world, they have looked around and really found an opening for this custom cash card, and there's nothing like it quite on the market. It could be a boon for Citi's kind of credit card fortunes because over the last couple of years they've really lost steam when compared to other credit card issuers like Chase and American Express. But the Citi Custom Cash Card, it looks to change some of that stuff, and it comes with a novel approach to a 5% cashback credit card. What does it mean? Is it worth you getting this card? Let's get into it right now. So the Citi Custom Cash Card, really the real benefit of this is it's a 5% cashback card, similar to a card like the Discover It or the Chase Freedom Flex, where you get 5% back in a particular category or categories up to a certain dollar amount. So you don't get 5% on everything forever in that category, but you get 5% up to a certain amount. And it's usually pretty high. I myself don't usually hit Discover's maximum threshold, and I'm sure I wouldn't if I had a Chase Freedom Flex card as well. And I'll get into some of the differences with this card. But the real difference, the real differentiator, why you would want to consider this card over one of its competitors, like I just mentioned, is you get 5% cash back. This is why it's called the custom cash, in a custom category of sorts, in something you choose, not something that the issuer chooses for you. So what does that mean here? Well, you earn 5% cash back on your highest category of spend each billing cycle up to $500 spent. And now for some people that is a deal killer right there. The competition where they choose your 5% category, those are usually up to $1,500 of spend. So 3 times the amount. With the Citi Custom Cash, you gain the flexibility of the category basically that you choose to spend the most in, but you lose the higher spending threshold. Now, what are these categories with the Citi Custom Cash Card? Well, you can earn 5% cash back, like I said, in your top eligible spend category. On everything else, you earn 1%. So, what are those categories? The 5% categories are, and I'll read them off here, we've got restaurants, gas stations, grocery stores, select travel, select transit, select streaming services, drugstores, home improvement stores, fitness clubs, and live entertainment. Now, when they talk about the select sort of situation, that definitely brings pause to me, and here's what I was able to find out about it. So, in those select categories, it says includes airline for travel, includes airline, hotel, cruise line, and travel agency purchases. Excludes timeshares, boat leases, rentals, campgrounds, trailer parks, real estate agencies. And I'll put that up next to me here, so you're probably like, dude, I can read. I don't need you reading this off to me, but transit includes pretty much everything you would think of as well. It just excludes bike and scooter rentals as well as auto clubs, so if you're a member of like a AAA or something like that, and insurance companies. But your things like your subways, your taxis, that's all included. Streaming services, I'll just put the list up here. It's a really, really big list of streaming services. I didn't notice any major exclusion, at least of the streaming services that I am aware of or use, in the list that is, it's got everything anyway that I would want. And that's really all it is for select. So I think, select, there's a reason for pause there. What does that mean? Am I going to get nickel and dimed, or am I not going to get 5%? Those categories are pretty broad. In my opinion. So that's really, really good. And of course, if you're Citi, the value proposition here is people aren't going to track this that closely. They're going to use this card for all of their spend or a lot of their spend. And then, they're going to get 1% on a lot of categories, which is profitable for Citi, whereas, of course, 5%, not that profitable, if profitable at all. So my recommendation, if you get this card, and this is very much a worthwhile card for certain people, if your spending is not huge in these categories, let's say you get 5% back and you just you don't spend that much money. Let's say you usually don't spend over $500 in your top category. Maybe you spend $300 at restaurants every month. This would be a great card to use only at restaurants. Don't use it anywhere else. Or if you rarely travel, but your travel bill per billing cycle is usually less than $500 and you don't need the travel protections and some of the things offered by other cards in the travel card space, then use this for that. So I think the value proposition is pretty clear and the use case is pretty clear. Get this card, figure out what category each month you're going to spend the most in of those eligible categories, and then spend in that category only. And then don't use the Citi Custom Cash for anything else. Just use it for that one category, zone in on that, get your 5%, and then move on, use a different card for the rest of your spending. So hopefully that made sense. Pick your category each month, use your custom cash card in it, and then that's it. That's all you got to do. There are some other things of this card to kind of take note of to kind of round out this review. There is a sign-up bonus right now, and it's a pretty good sign-up bonus. This card does have no annual fee, so you're not going to get a huge bonus like you would with annual fee cards, but this is a really good return on spend. You get $200 cash back after you spend $750 on purchases in the first 3 months of account opening. So that's pretty awesome. That's a pretty low spending threshold, $750 in a 3-month period. Most people, I imagine, can hit that really easily. Then you get $200 back. So let's say you bought one item for $750. You really only spent $550 on that one item. That's pretty hard to beat in terms of a sign-up bonus return on spend. Of course, it's not a lot of money, but the percentage shakes out pretty good. This card also has a 0% intro APR for 15 months. After that, the rate is between 13.99% and 23.99%. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't advise you to make any sorts of decisions, but I think it's generally best practice knowledge to never not pay a credit card in full. So you don't have to worry about those interest rates. But if that matters to you, it's here. And then another thing to note, kind of the final thing to note as I round out this review, is that this card actually earns Citi Thank You points. So it doesn't earn cash back only, it earns Citi Thank You points. And if you have a Chase card that gets Chase Ultimate Rewards points, or an American Express card that gets membership reward points, this is a very similar program. It's Citi's travel point program. And while this does earn thank you points, which do have a higher value than 1 cent, the most or the least I suppose you could redeem these for is 1 cent. So think of 1 point equals 1 cent. There is outsized value that you could get out of this card. So yes, you're earning 5% cash back, but you could transfer it to a Singapore Airlines, or I think there's a South American airline as well that's a good transfer partner for thank you points, and get outsized value. So sure, you got 1% cash back on that purchase or 5% cash back, but maybe after you transfer those points, you're getting more like effectively 6% cash back, or even 7% cash back on those purchases. So hopefully that made sense, right? Because when you transfer points from a credit card to a mileage program, those miles are usually worth more than a penny. You know, when I transfer points up from a certain card to, let's say, Delta Airlines, I'm getting more than 1 cent per point. So hopefully that made sense as well. But the major caveat with this card is, even though it does earn Citi Thank You points, you can't actually transfer the Citi Thank You points from the custom cash card directly. You need to have one of the annual fee options in Citi's stable to then transfer your points to an airline partner. So if that was really confusing, if you're like, what is that? What is transferring? How does this work? I should have a video coming on that soon, but that's for the more advanced, people who really love maximizing the value from every point that they get. If that kind of went over your head, the thing to know is, look, these are worth 1 cent. So, you get that 5%. That really is 5% cash back. If you want to try and get outsized value and you have another Citi card with an annual fee and you can do that, you probably already know what you're doing, and you can use these points for those purposes. If not, cash back is a great option with this card. So what do I think of the Citi Custom Cash Card? I think this is actually a very novel, unique approach to the 5% kind of rotating category cards, because the category doesn't have to rotate. It's whatever you pick each month, and it's 5% up to $500. This will be a great restaurant card for people. It'll be a great category perhaps if you're a low spending traveler, and you can switch it up each month. Maybe one month you do spend a little bit on travel, let's say you take a flight, and another month you eat out a lot. So it's very flexible, and I really like that, and I like all that stuff from an issuer, from a bank like Citi. What do you guys think of the Citi Custom Cash Card? Let me know in the comments section down below. Are you going to get the Citi Custom Cash Card? Do you already have it? And I will see you in the next one.